Hello. Good evening, y'all. Good evening. What's up, everyone? Good evening. Good night. 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 Hello. Hello, everybody. Hello. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. How's everybody doing this week? How is everybody holding up this week? Good evening. God has been good. God has been kind. God has been merciful. Hello, good evening. Happy Monday to you all. Happy Monday. Listen, God is he's just working things out. He's just over here working miracles. A good friend of mine, Donna, she would say, God is just out here working miracles. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Happy Monday. Happy President's Day. For those of you who were off all day, had a chance to relax, I hope you enjoyed your day because girl like me had to be on the clock working. Good evening, Lady Petra. Good evening. Listen, help me share this video out. We're still on the topic that we were last week. How to show love and appreciation to your spouse. And because we're doing part two because last week was Valentine's, and I know most couples who celebrated Valentine's worked, and so I mean not work, but they had a good time. So we just want to come on to say hello, happy Monday to everybody. I'm excited. I don't know about you, but I'm excited. I like love, right? I love love, and so I'm always willing. Listen, my husband and I, we don't need a Valentine's or a special occasion to go out. If we feel the need to go out, we just go out. You know what I mean? And so I'm really happy about that. And so we're going to be talking about that tonight. Oh yes. What happens? How did you show love and appreciation to your significant other on Valentine's? And remember last week we were saying that, you don't have to be in a relationship with someone to love yourself, right? The first aspect about showing appreciation is loving yourself. So loving yourself, then you will be a better and a good candidate to love on your spouse. So we're going to continue with part two tonight, and I'm really excited about it because I want to know, I'm excited about just persons, being excited about being in love. We're in love, and we're not all shook up, but we're all in love, and it's coming from a beautiful place. And when you love somebody, you just want to show them how much you love them, and you want to express it to them. So we're doing part two tonight. How to show appreciation, to your significant other. How do you show appreciation to your significant other? How do you let them know you care about them without it becoming materialistic? Because I know if your love language is receiving gifts, then that's totally different. But that's not the only way you can show a person love. Not just by you giving them gifts and they're receiving gifts from you. Listen, we're sorry to be late tonight, right? We had some technical difficulties. My computer was updating. Yeah, haven't been on it all day. Decide to log on now for prayer for marriages, and it wants to update. So here we are tonight. Your girl lady Evangelist Nikki, she's about to join in. So but we're giving God thanks tonight. I'm happy tonight for what God is doing for us. So give me some thumbs up, give me some hearts, give me some, give me something, show me some love, and I'm grateful for everything that has been happening in our lives, in our relationship. I'm happy for those of you who have reached out to me privately, and I can help you with your relationship. And I'm just grateful. And those of you who watch the broadcast, and sometimes persons watch the replay and, reach out to me, and they're really happy about the discussions that we have, the conversations that we have. And so tonight we're talking about how to show love and appreciation to your significant other, to the one you love. How you show persons that you love them. A lot of times, I know me. I'm always saying to my husband, "Why you love me?" And his response is the same all the time, Lady Petra. His response is the same all the time. He always saying, "If I had a reason, then I wouldn't love you," and it cracks me up every time because just how he says it, he's so innocent and just so pure with it, and so a lot of time we want to know because we're not being shown that we're loved, right? And so one way that we can all show that our to show love and appreciation to our loved one is listening to their problems. Do you know your spouse have problems? Hmm. They have problems, whether they be work related, whether it be church related, whether it just be community related. It could be the could have a problem with you, the children, other family members. So listening to their problems and their issue is a big thing to people. I don't know about you, but if I'm having an issue with a family member or vice versa, and I can sit and listen to my husband talk about his problems, and he can listen and sit and talk. We can listen to each other and talk, right? And so, hi, Lady Stacy on YouTube. Greetings to everybody on YouTube and Facebook. Please forgive my manners. I'm just trying to divulge in to the topic tonight because I'm really excited, right? And I know last week on Valentine's, my husband surprised me. He does these little things sometimes, which I'm so happy. I got money. I got money last week, and I'm like, babe, But I'm always saying, I tell him, I was like, because sometimes my husband, he knows my taste, but my husband is very, very conservative. And so I tell him, I would rather get my own gift or go with you to pick it out. So this time he just said, here's the money, go buy yourself something. I haven't bought myself anything yet with the money, right? But and that was fine with me. You know what I mean? So, but a lot of persons they would have been like, "What? He should have went and go buy it." No, listen, trust me. Our spouse know us. Our spouse knows us. They know that if they get the wrong thing, they're gonna be in trouble. They're gonna, Lady Stacy. Listen, when you get married, just know it tell it up front. I'm an upfront person. If my husband, I remember my husband got me something one time. I'm like, no, babe. I was like, I appreciate the gift, but next time take me with you. And from then on, you know how it ended, right? So yes, listening to their problem is a good way to show appreciation, to let them know that you're actually listening to them, right? Another way to show appreciation, make eye contact. How many of you make eye contact with your spouse? Do you make eye contact with your spouse? Not just when you're making love, but other times when you're sitting at the dinner table eating, when you may be in the bed talking or in the watching TV together. Do you make eye contact? You're driving in a car, and you're at the stoplight. You pull over. Do you want to look into their eyes? Listen, I'm a hopeless romantic, so I do all of that. You know what I'm saying? So that's a connection. You have to have a connection with your spouse. And I don't know how some persons don't have a connection with their spouse, right? Now, another way that we can teach our significant other, husband, wife, significant other, show them appreciation is to say, I love you. Yes, and not just when you receive something or when they do something, but just say, you know what, I love you. I love you. I mean, and really mean it from the bottom of your heart. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I love love. And so I'm very expressive with mine, very affectionate with my love, right? This is another thing that I think I do it and my husband does it too, but he doesn't do it like in a way that people know, right? My husband keeps me blushing in public all the time. So another way that you can show your partner appreciation, right, is to flirt with them in public. Do you and your spouse have chemistry? Do y'all have chemistry? Because if you have chemistry, you're gonna flirt in public. Flirt with your listen. I know some of y'all saying, well, we're Christians and we don't do the PDA. Showing public affection is not a sin. Flirting with your spouse, listen, that's a turn on. And it should be a turn on. So your spouse can know that, hey, this person is into me. You know what I mean? And not just when you're home, but show them you're at a restaurant, play footsie with them under the table, flirt with them, send them a little text across the table. You know what I mean? It amazes me sometimes when persons come to me and say, they don't know what to do. Just because some of you are Christian, Muslim, you're Hindu, Jewish, whatever your religious background is or belief, you can show love. You can show love. You can show love. You can show love. And it doesn't necessarily mean that you're being nasty and perverted. No, you're just showing your partner love. Holding hands in public or hugging. Like, I like to hold my husband around his waist because, he's taller than me. So I can't reach up. So I always put my hand around his waist or hold his hand while walking. You know what I mean? Or sometimes I put my hand in his back pocket. You know what I mean? And then I'll be touching his butt. But show some kind of lovey-dovey stuff in public. That's yours, right? And so a lot of times we don't show the affection. We don't do that. You know what I mean? Listen, I come from a family where we touchy-feely, we hugging and kissing all the time, right? So when you get married, when I got married, it just transposed to my husband, right? Now, do something they need before they ask for it. Their birthday is coming up. Do something special for them. You may want to ask them, or you may just want to. You know your spouse, so you know what they want. So what you're gonna do? Just do something special for them before. Don't let it be an occasion like birthday, anniversaries, and stuff like that. And a part of showing appreciation too is remembering those special occasions. But do something for your spouse on a regular day, like today's President Day. Just do something for them. Send them a little love note. Send them some candy or flowers. Send them something. Something. He worked with tools or whatever type of job he has. Send them some office supplies. Do something. Brighten their day with something. I'm telling you. It doesn't have to be really super expensive, right? So the little things that you do for your spouse makes a difference. I'm telling you, it makes a difference. Maybe if they work at a job where you can show up with some flowers or lunch, their lunch and bring it to them. Pick a lunch and bring it to them, or text them and say, listen, I'm coming. What time is your lunch break? Or what time is your dinner break? Let's do a quick lunch. Let's just grab a quick bite to eat. I'm telling you, that will go so far, especially if both of you are busy. You're working in ministry, you work a full-time job, you're in school, you have children while the children are in school, and both of you get a nice little lunch break. Take a break. Sit in the park, walk in the park, do something with your spouse. Don't always just be so gloomy and dry. Do something with your spouse. Have a romantic evening. Plan a romantic evening. Put the children to bed and have a romantic evening. This is showing love and appreciation, right? Send them a funny video. Listen, my husband loves to laugh. And so he'll send me a funny video here and there. But I'm constantly sending him funny videos. And he's like, babe, where did you get that? I love to laugh. Keep the laughter going. Keep the laughter going. Keep communication going. If you're working throughout the day and, you send him something when you get home in the evening, say, babe, did you see that video? Did you watch that video I sent? And if they say no, say, let's watch it now together. And laugh together. Crack up laughing together. Belly aching laughing together. Listen, you're with this person. Don't feel like you're stuck, but have a good time with each other. Have a good time. Listen, the songwriter say you don't have to take your clothes off to have a good time, but my God, having a good time, then you end up taking your clothes off. Lord Jesus, this is for the married folk. The married folk, all right? Married people, have a good time. Listen, don't be a bore with your husband. Watch your favorite TV show together. Watch your favorite. Listen, this is ways to show your spouse that you appreciate him. Listen, even if you didn't have the finances to go out last week for Valentine's, you could have stayed home and cooked a nice meal, set the table up, dinner for two. And even if you had children, get dressed up and sit at the table. Let me tell you something. It goes a long, long way. You would be surprised as to how much fun they would have, sit and watch TV and or as I was saying, have a nice dinner at home, dress up. Now, this is a good way. If your spouse, they're workaholics and they work long hours, and so it's their day off, let them sleep in. Yeah. Let them sleep in. Let them sleep in. Don't make a lot of noise if you get up before them. I'm telling you, when we say, make time for your spouse, make that time for them. Let them show them that you appreciate them. Show them that you love them. I'm telling you, listen. And another thing, and I think Evangelist Nikki, she always talk about this because she loved the love languages, right? Learn your spouse's love language. Learn their love language. If you've been married for more than a year or two or three or four or five, and you don't know your partner's love language, please learn it, because you should learn that during the courting period and the engagement period. You should know their love language. You should know what they like. You should already know their love language. It shouldn't be strange to you, right? Listen, I want to know this. How many of you that are married cuddle? I know you cuddle when you was courting, but now you married, you don't cuddle. Listen, let's start cuddling some more. Spoon in. Let me tell you. Yes, Lady Stacy. See, I'm dropping some good gems for those people that are unmarried. When you get married, Lady Stacy say, good advice for when I get married. When you get married, these are all the things that you need to do to keep the spice going in your relationship. Listen, don't get married and get boring. You were dating or courting and you were all fun, and now you get married. No, 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 no. We're going to keep it hot and spicy as we can in our homes, right? We're going to do that. So we're going to cuddle. We're going to cuddle, right? We're going to cuddle. Listen, now, if you're a person that like to do acts of kindness is your love language, fill your husband or your wife car tank up. Fill up their tank with gas, or buy them a gas card. Listen, doing something nice for your spouse, I'm telling you, will cause them to be like, they're showing me appreciation, and it would be reciprocated. To me, I'm telling you, to me, it's the little things that matter for me. My husband don't have to do no big, huge, major stuff, but the small things that he does is like major to me, right? Plan a romantic getaway. Let me tell you something. Groupon is my friend. Plan a nice romantic getaway. Plan a weekend. Let me tell you something. Listen, it doesn't matter where you live. They have hotel specials all the time. They have all include, especially if you're in the islands, any one of the islands, or even within the United States. They have weekend all include specials all the time. Groupon. I'm not saying nothing but Groupon. Groupon is my friend, right? Groupon. I'm always on Groupon. Let me tell you something. Listen, and this is one thing that I want us to learn to say, and let's normalize it in our relationship, right? Say you're sorry. When you make a mistake, or when things are, you get in a heated discussion, say you're sorry. Say you're sorry. You don't have to be right all the time. Even if you're right, say, listen, babe, you know what? For peace sake, I'm sorry. And move on. So some person just like to keep stuff going and going and going. No. Move on. Just say you're sorry and move on. You don't want any kind of dissension in your relationship. Yes, as they say in Jamaica, teeth and tongue is going to meet. You have your discussion, you talk about it, and you move on. We're not going to be holding stuff from 5 years ago when you did. No, I thought you got past that, babe. No. We're going to say we're sorry and move on, depending on the situation and the circumstance. Listen, if it's something really, really heavy, you gotta discuss it and still move on. Move past it. And some issues take a longer time to resolve than other, but don't dwell on a situation, right? And different situation and circumstances happen, but don't live in that place. Do your possibly best to move forward, right? Do your possibly best to move forward, right? Listen, do you know your spouse's favorite hobby? Do you know their hobby? My husband work a lot. I don't even think he has a hobby. I don't think he has a hobby because my husband is a workaholic. And then when he's not working, it's church, right? And so, but then we still make time because we have to have balance. So we still make time to be with each other and do fun stuff, right? So do you know their favorite thing to do? Do you know their hobby? Do their hobby with them, right? Listen, now I know I'm gonna mess up a whole lot of the person's teaching or whatever. Listen, put some nice music on and dance together. I know some of you are saying, but we're saying we can't listen to certain music. Well, put some Jesus music on and dance to it. Listen, put some love song on. They got some really decent love songs that you can listen to, right? Listen to, right? Um, if your spouse like to drink coffee, tea, wine, a cooler, bring it to them in bed. You see them laying in bed watching TV or reading a book, or like my husband, he'll be writing up invoices. Bring them some tea, some juice. Bring them something nice. Let them say, "Oh, that's so nice." I'm telling you, it's so many ways that we can show our spouse appreciation that nobody should feel left out. Nobody should feel like I'm always doing and they're not doing. But if you do it, it's going to be reciprocated. If you're not doing, then you're not going to do they're not going to do anything, right? Now, Evangelist Nikki always say, be the change in your relationship that you want to see. Be that change. Be that change. Know your spouse. Know what they like. Know their dislike. Celebrate the small things with them. If they make an accomplishment, if they finish school, if they're in school and they have a test or an exam and they pass it, celebrate them. Say, listen, I'm going to cook a special dinner. It could be the same meal you're going to cook this from morning, but you find out, oh, I got something special for you when you come home. Got your special meal. Set the table and just be nice. Celebrate them. I'm telling you, it's the little things that will make the marriages work, and it's little things that will destroy the relationship as well. So when you do the nice little things, it builds up and adds up to big, humongous things. Don't just wait for a special occasion to be nice, right? Celebrate the things, every major accomplishment, celebrated. If you guys are on a financial diet and you paid off a credit card, celebrate it. If you shrunk your debt down, celebrate it. My God, if you bought a new car, celebrate. A new home, celebrate it. I'm telling you, it's the little things, right? It's the little things. And this is one other thing that I want to say, and then we're going to close off for tonight, right? Don't be afraid to be vulnerable. Don't be afraid to be vulnerable with your spouse. I mean, this is your spouse. If you can't be vulnerable with your spouse, who are you going to be vulnerable with? Right? Listen, I want us to normalize satisfying our spouse's physical, spiritual, emotional, mental needs so that they don't have to go out there and get it from anybody. You don't want your spouse emotionally attached to anybody. You don't, that's just something that you don't want. You don't want them to be emotionally attached to nobody but you. Now, this is outside of their parents. I'm not talking about their parents and children. I'm talking about a third party out there. Listen, you don't want your spouse being able to talk to Sally at work and can't talk to you. Nope, nope, that should not be. You don't want your spouse to can be able to talk to Sam at work and not you. No. Whatever is on your spouse's mind, they should be able to come to you and say, babe, A, B, C, D, E. They should be able to be vulnerable. Be vulnerable with your spouse. Be that emotional, be there emotionally for your spouse. Be there physically for them. Be there spiritually for them. Pray with your spouse. For some of you that your spouse is unsaved, pray with them. I don't understand if you're the one that's saved and you're not praying with your spouse. Find the time to pray with them. They could even be in the bathroom showering. Get in that shower with them and be praying with them. Yup. Get in there and be praying. Get in there and be praying. Find the time. Make the time to be with your spouse, right? Be there when things are tough. Be there when they're sick. Be there for your spouse. Listen, let your spouse listen. Somebody want to come. Let's wait. Hey, hold up. My wife is coming. My husband is coming. They'll be here, right? You don't show up for your spouse. You don't want nobody else showing up for your spouse, and you don't show up unless you're out the country and you're unavailable, and it's just impossible for you to get there at that particular time. But show up for your spouse. Show up for them. It's nothing like seeing that familiar face when you're going through. Show up for your spouse. I want y'all to show up for your spouse. My God. Build good relationships and habits. Build a good relationship with your spouse. Let me tell you something. If you don't do that, then you're missing out. You're doing yourself a big injustice because someone else will be there building a relationship with your spouse. Build healthy relationship with your spouse. All right. Listen, those are just some of the things. They're not written in stone, but those are just some of the little things that you can do to show yourself, to show appreciation with your spouse. Listen, I know y'all used to seeing Evangelist Nikki with me. She's really busy. She's behind the scenes. She's here, but she's behind the scenes. She's just not on camera tonight. You know, we cover each other like that. When I'm busy, she step right in. You don't see me, but I'm in the background. We want to thank you for always coming and tuning in and sharing this broadcast out to people. You never know who is going through and need these little nuggets. I'm telling you, I'm in so many groups and I counsel so many people, and you will be surprised these little things persons don't know to do. So I'm here and I'm telling you, it's the little things that matter to people. I know it mattered to me, and so I know it helped me, and I know it will help you. All right. So listen, join us again next Monday evening, same time, 7 p.m. right here on YouTube and Facebook and in our Zoom room. You can join us in the Zoom room at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You know, set your alarm, set your notification on Facebook. Listen, if you have not already subscribed to our YouTube channel, please go ahead, subscribe, hit that notification button so you know when your girl go live. You know when we're live so you can tune in, all right? See you next Monday. And listen, like always, if you have not joined our Thursday night community, you want to join it. If you are single, if you are dating, if you are courting, if you're engaged, Lady Stacy, I need to see you on the Zoom on Thursday nights, Lady Stacy. I need to see you on the Zoom on Thursday nights. I'm telling you, if you're not already on there, you're missing out. Join our community on Thursday night. We talk about a whole lot of stuff. And listen, we're going to talk about on Thursday night on a topic that we did here on Prayer for Marriage. We're going to talk about on Thursday night what love has to do with it. I want y'all to come and join in on the discussion, on the conversation. I want you to join us, all right? So With that being said, have an awesome night. We love you. We thank you. Good evening. Listen, go show your spouse some appreciation. Amen. God bless you. God keep